And welcome to the Alex Wilson Show. I'm Alex Wilson, your host. We have Ryan Sinclair and Casey Flinn joining us today. What's up, guys?
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Today we're going to talk about two topics. One is going to be cars, specifically Ford, and aliens. So stay tuned for that second segment on aliens. I wanted to ask you guys, Ryan and Casey, what is going on in the auto industry? Ford just announced they're going to stop making all passenger cars except the Mustang, and they're moving towards like trucks and SUVs.
So that's actually false. So the Ford Focus is staying. They're getting rid of the Fiesta, the Ford Fusion, the Ford Taurus, and any other cars that they have. So it's going to be, they're focusing on trucks and SUVs because of the EcoBoost engines. Because they can get the same gas miles, they say, as a car, and you have all the extra room and everything like that. You don't have to be limited by a car.
So all cars are going to move to EcoBoost.
Well, that's Ford's technology, so no one else can use that.
Okay.
So Chevy is right behind them with Toyota.
Right.
And there was one other company that was joining right behind them because the three best-selling cars last year were trucks. The Dodge Ram, I think at 500,000 units. The Silverado at 550,000 units, and then the F-150 at 872,000.
Wow. It's unbelievable. I mean, obviously they have to keep the Mustang because Mustang is so iconic and it's such a high-selling car. But for them to get rid of the Fusion and you said the Taurus and almost all mid-size cars, they're getting rid of them. Yeah. And they're moving towards EcoBoost, the smaller motors with a turbo. And those turbo, they're going to have problems. Those turbos are going to have problems. It's a cheaper car, I think, than having a bigger engine.
Right. Well, what Ford is doing is they're doing exactly what McDonald's did back in the day. And if we go back where Ray Kroc was the CEO, before that, it was the McDonald brothers. And what they did was when they first opened up their store, they had hamburgers, cheeseburgers, corn dogs, lasagna. They had all sorts of different things. But what they realized was that 90% of what was really working was their hamburgers, fries, and soft drinks. So they eliminated all those other items.
They dumbed down the menu to their best sellers.
The best sellers. And they focused on the quality and the speed. And in that history of time, it was the only time you can get 15 cents and you got your cheeseburger immediately.
Wow.
It took the wait time for other restaurants was 15 minutes. So that's what set them apart. And then Ray Kroc got involved and they grew. And so Ford, if you look back at what's going on with them, in 1996...
So Ford's getting rid of the lasagna.
Right. They're getting rid of what's not working as well. They're focusing on what's going on. And if we look at why, in 1996, they sold 500,000 Ford Tauruses. This time now, it's 47,000. So it's a huge decline.
To the state.
Yeah, in the state.
It's all about making more money. More money.
Let me throw out there, the Ford Fusion sold almost 500,000 units 2 years ago. I think it was 476,000 units.
Well, I'm surprised, real quick, you said Toyota's following them? Toyota can't get rid of the Camry definitely not the Camry, because Camry is looked at as an older generation car, and a lot of the older people buy Camrys, and it's their best seller, isn't it? I mean, they can't get rid of that.
Toyota is one of the best-selling cars in the world. So is the Toyota Corolla. The Yaris and the rest of the cars are not. But if we keep showing this trend of people saying, what do you see on a car lot more than anything else? You see cars. There's more cars than there is, because every company has the cars, the SUVs, and the trucks. But every time I pass a dealership, do you ever see a truck or an SUV there? No, you just see loads and loads and loads of cars, and never anything. And again, I understand a lot of people are having bigger families. I think people actually with families now, it's jumping up again. Like it used to be 1 or 2, now we're up to 3 and 4.
Well, and I don't know. I kind of see. I understand that Ford's in it for the money, and they're such an iconic brand that. More money. So, honestly, it's not a hidden thing. Their best-selling two vehicles is the Ford F-150 and the Mustang. Those are their two best-selling vehicles. So, dumbing down that menu of cars is going to probably make them more money, and they can have different types of just those two vehicles. But I almost feel like in the future, in the next 10 years or so, we can't go to a stoplight now without seeing a Hyundai or a Kia. And that's all it is. So I almost feel like Americans and people are buying the cheaper low-end cars And then, of course, you're going to have that section of people who buy those F-150s. But I feel like anybody with a ton of money, they're buying the sports cars, the BMWs, the Mercedes, the more luxury, Lincolns and stuff like that. Which I wonder what they're doing with Lincoln, by the way. I guess that's another topic. But I almost feel like Hyundai and Kia, there's just going to be so much flood on the market of those two specific vehicles in the future. And then you're going to have, all the main companies are just going to have like 3 cars to choose from.
And that's what scares me, because I don't know about you, but I don't have a family, but I don't like SUVs.
You have no family.
I don't have any children running around.
Okay.
So, so I don't have to worry about that. But even if I did, I don't like SUVs. I don't like vans. I don't like trucks. For me, I like a nice...
I don't think the vans are selling.
They're not.
That's now it's all these crossover SUVs.
Yeah, they're the the Toyota HR.
Where you're like, is that a car? Is that a truck? Is that an El Camino? What is that? Nope, it's an SUV.
It's an SUV. And for me, I like a car. I like having a car.
Right.
For me, I will pick a car every time over an SUV.
Casey, where do you see this stuff going in the next 10 years?
Here's the problem.
We know we're not getting flying cars. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
But where do you see the car industry going?
Well, fuel efficiency is going to be a big thing, and I mean a big deal. And if Ford's making this change, then they are very optimistic about the idea that these trucks are going to get 50 miles per gallon. Because if they don't, then they're going to be in big trouble. Because the reason why, and I'll tell you why, consumers like me. When gas back in 2008 was $5 a gallon, my dad has a Ford Expedition, it was $100 a pop. People were like, screw that, I'm going to be getting a small car. So the small car, Honda Civic was in high demand. Any of the small vehicles were, because they can, I open up my gas can and dust hits me. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I know what it's like to get gas because I just don't go that often. And so for me, I would love a Ford F-150. But the issue is it's not responsible for me to get one because I'm not going to pay $80 for gas every time to go to the pump.
So you like...
But I would.
If they like a truck.
I'd love a truck.
But isn't... Okay, so moving towards EcoBoost cars that get better gas mileage, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that hurt the fuel industry?
It hurts the fuel industry, but they're popular vehicles. That's the biggest thing. And the only concern that Ford has is if they do not make this EcoBoost work, then if gas does go up to $5 a gallon, then no one's going to want to buy any of their vehicles. They're going to be in big trouble, because at least if they have the Focus, not the Focus, the Fusion, then
and the Fiesta too. The Fiesta gets about 40 miles to the gallon.
But they'll have to have a small car available for the people, or they're going to have no cars selling if gas goes to $5 a gallon.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen. I started seeing Mustangs overseas in Europe. I started seeing them over there, and just different vehicles that we get over there. And I know Trump's saying that he's going to try to get more American-made vehicles overseas because, Europe and a lot of those countries and Germany and stuff, they sell us millions of cars. Millions. You've got, what do you got? You got BMW and Mercedes and Volkswagen and all these cars coming over here.
Toyota.
The
biggest selling car in the world. Biggest selling car.
And we sell them nothing. When's the last time we saw a Chevy Cruze driving through London?
The last time an American car finally made it was the Ford Mustang, and that was, I think, 6 or 7 years ago, if I'm correct. And
because there's brand new ones over there driving.
There are brand new ones. So the Ford Mustang has been over, but they laugh at us because they think we make a terrible car. Because the emission changes, we haven't really got it down.
Well, the thing is, and I mean, we're not gonna have a debate on like which car was more reliable than others. I think everybody knows which cars are kind of more reliable than others. But I think the thing is I'm saying the dealerships and a lot of these mega car corporations like Chevy and Ford and GM and all these companies, if we move into an international market to where we're actually selling the other countries around the world our cars, I mean, we're gonna see what they're gonna think of these EcoBoost cars, it's going to be
It'll
different.
Definitely be more appeasing.
I'm shocked we're not more into electric.
I have friends that are from Germany. They come down here. When they move down here, they all drive Hummers because they can't in Germany. It's too expensive. But here, it's affordable. And they're so used to being in compact vehicles all their life. They come out here and it's
What happened to the electric car rush?
I mean, it's still there. I mean, it definitely still... It's just, a lot of electric cars, they sold okay. But, I mean, just the other day, I was driving on the bridge, and guess what I saw? There was a Chevy Volt, brand new. It was dead on the road because it ran out of juice. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people were scared about that part. Unless you live in close quarters, like your work is like 2 minutes away and stuff, which around in this area, I know for sure, it's not like that. Like, I have to drive 40 minutes every day. There and back. Do you think the electric car is going to work for me?
No.
I would love to have a Nissan Leaf, but it ain't gonna happen. And they were ugly. A lot of them were ugly. So I think that's what really hurt them. I mean, not everyone can afford a Tesla.
No, I hear you. I just, I was expecting the electric car thing to blow up. The hybrids that are like half electric, half gas. They're not that big. I mean, there isn't a ton of them. The market really didn't skyrocket.
Yeah, but that could just be from corporations or the gas,
Right.
Well, and it also could be, like, have you ever stepped on a Prius and seen it go anywhere?
No.
Have you ever floored a Prius?
No, I could run faster.
Exactly.
I'm with you. They don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere.
You hit the gas and a kid,
I know.
an old lady on one of those electric cars flies by you.
It's a styrofoam cup with a plane on the back. I mean, a fan. Plane, fan, same thing.
So, would you drive that every day?
No.
I know I'm a bad driver. So.
What happens if I run out of juice?
Well, you have the gasoline engine on the Prius.
Oh, boy.
You do. It's a 1.5 liter. Last time I checked, it was a 1.5. But again, it has no power. There's an old lady in an electric cart running by you, the ones they steal from Targets and stuff.
Yeah, the electric cart, yeah.
Yeah, they're outrunning you in the Prius when you stomp on the gas. So
wow, that's. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I honestly think them moving out of mid-size cars and it might be bad for them. It might be bad for a lot of these companies.
If they don't get them good gas miles. We're talking 50 miles per gallon, and then we're talking.
Well, it's not going to be 50 miles a gallon. You have to think they're probably going to get 25 miles to the gallon on the Ford Escape, which I like the Ford Escape. I think it looks nice, but would I like that to be my daily driver? No.
I think most people, and I think the way the economy is, and a lot of the middle class to lower income, I feel like, what kind of car can you give me that's cheap with good gas mileage? Well, a Hyundai or a Kia. That's
Correct.
what they're going for.
Correct. And I mean, I get that. You see, the Kia Rio, they say it's a throwaway car. You buy it pretty much to chuck the car. But they sell a ton of them. They can't keep them on the showroom because they are so cheap and they're so affordable.
Well, the problem is I know so many people that have gotten them and they can't keep them serviced. They break within the first year nonstop. So they never...
That's why
they have to come back and come back and come back. But they don't even have a big enough garage or facilities to keep them fixed on the road. So everyone I know that has those cars hate them. So they sell them with a great warranty.
Of course, but you'll never get it fixed.
They have good gas mileage. Yeah. They're
if
cheap. You can walk in there with $10 and a pack of bubble gum and get one. But
I mean, that's why they have the name throwaway
they break.
car. It's the name of the throwaway car.
Non-stop.
I mean, at least with the Yaris, it's not going to blow. But the Rio is considered a throwaway car, just like the Hyundai Accent. Mm-hmm. Very cheap car. I mean, you step on it, it's almost like a Prius can almost beat you. I mean, there's no power to the engine whatsoever. Not very comfortable. The suspension, hopefully you don't hit a pothole because you're going to feel the steering wheel to your face.
I feel like we're definitely going to see more of a flood in the market of these lower-end, cheap cars. Though they get better gas mileage,
yeah,
if all these companies are cutting their mid-sized cars out,
yeah,
which doesn't make sense.
What's Chevy doing? Are they cutting the Cruze? Are they cutting the Malibu? The Impala?
So they don't know yet. So Ford is the only one that's really coming out balls deep and going, "Hey, this is what we're doing. We're getting rid of these cars." Chevy's kind of like, I know Chrysler wants to get rid of the 200, and I know of a few others, but nothing is really set in stone yet, except for Ford. Ford is pushing 2020. We're never going to see a Ford Taurus again, which I'm upset. I like the Ford lineup, so it's very sad.
Right? No, I'm with you. We'll see what happens, honestly.
So this was actually a quote from the Ford guy, the guy who does the marketing and everything for Ford,
right?
And so he states, and I quote: "In another couple of years, you won't see these cars being developed for another generation. That there's a good chance that in 8 years, this segment of the market doesn't even exist."
So if that's their thought process, then we just know where they're headed.
They are getting rid of mid-sized cars because they think, because I read a bunch of stuff about this, they think that they can get SUVs and trucks to get the same gas mileage as a car can right now.
And they're not going to exist next generation at all.
That's what they're saying, definitely. And it saddens me because I like cars. I'd much rather have a car. So that's my personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna. If anybody has any comments on that, please put them down in the comments. Casey, do you have anything else to say on the car market?
Nope. We'll see what they do. This is a pretty new thing that they're doing.
I'm actually really surprised, and it hasn't really gotten a whole lot of coverage, I don't think, in the media either. I haven't heard a whole lot about it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
One more thing I noticed, to look at the police cars, they're all not cars anymore. They're all those SUV. What are they, Escapes or
the big SUVs? And I think, I just want to throw one more topic on it. And yes, it is the SUVs. It's the Ford Explorer, and then the Dodge. And there's a couple parts that have the Dodge SRT. I forget what they are. It's an SUV. They are switching over to the SUVs. But I want to bring up one more thing: is that when you see some of the newer cars that the midsize, have you noticed that they've just gotten a lot uglier? Like, look at any new car from the 2016 to 2018. Mm-hmm. Just take a look at them.
They're trying to do this futuristic look, and it's just not working.
It's not working.
No, we're not ready yet.
It just looks silly, and that's why they're not selling.
That's because their design team has no taste. They have no taste for
cars.
And
I think that's what's hurting the market, because back 2 years ago, midsize were top of the line.
If they just remade all the muscle cars and actually made them resemble the old school muscle cars. Mm-hmm. It would be killer. It would be so sick if they literally just did that line. Mm-hmm. You know, your Mustang, all of them. Your Camaros, your Novas, any of them. If they just brought those back, Barracuda, whatever the most popular ones were, and they remade them to actually look, Firebirds, anything, and they made them to look similar to the old ones.
They would sell faster than hotcakes at McDonald's.
There you go. Or lasagna.
Oh, lasagna.
That McDonald's lasagna.
That's why I didn't sell. No, not like that, because I didn't sell. Remember that.
So anyways, guys, we're going to move into some alien talk. So, are they real? What do you guys think? Do you guys think they're real? 100%?
They are real.
I can tell you a quick story about it, and that's how I
Quick story, it'll sum it all up.
Exactly.
He was abducted.
I'm not even really.
We found out what's wrong with the Ryan.
So when I lived in New York, I'll never forget this. I was upstairs, and I was like, what is that noise outside? I was only...
Grandma?
Yeah, Grandma's outside. I'm in a 2-story building. So, and I looked outside, and there was something in the air, and I knew it wasn't a plane, because one, it was stationary, and two, it was spinning, because I could see the lights and it was spinning. And I stared at it for a good couple of minutes, and I'll never forget this moment, because it stayed with me all these years. And it just, within a second, it was gone. It just took off, and it was the end of it. And I never forgot about it. And I know it wasn't a dream, because I feel like I did pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. And ever since then, I knew, there has to be something. And then with all the evidence and everything that I've seen over the years, there just has to be something.
Yeah. Well, the odds that there is life outside is so high. In fact, it'd be great if we're the only ones. I mean, if we look at the fact that...
You think it's great that we'd be the only ones alive?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, you do want to see other life.
It'd be great if there was other life out there, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, there is. I mean, the chances of there not being is not...
It's not even possible, statistically, physically, anything.
In fact, they said that the odds of us having another replication of Earth, and there's another Alex like you and Ryan, is actually pretty high.
Oh, of course. I 150 billion trillion % believe aliens are real.
They must be doing this show, but now they're talking about...
Yeah, there's another Alex Wilson show, and they're talking about us.
That's exactly
so today, guys, we're going to talk about Alex, Ryan, and Casey.
For planet Earth. So,
check it out. So, I definitely believe aliens are real. Statistically, it would be impossible for them not to be real. They estimate 300,000 to 1 million UFO sightings in all time, and that's just documented. How many are undocumented? And that comes down to my UFO theory. If you rule out all of the ones where someone was drunk and they thought it was a UFO, but it wasn't, and then you roll out the ones where they're on medication, and you roll out the ones where it was a plane, or they were confused, or they're not sure, what if just one was true? That's all it takes. One, right? Yeah. One. Would have to be true. Out of 1 million UFO sightings, one has got to be true. And if it is, aliens exist.
So what blows my mind is in Egyptian times, they would show and they would draw the hieroglyphics. Mm-hmm. And you would see it looked like a helicopter. It looked like
they would draw aliens.
They would draw aliens.
UFOs. I know.
I mean, I don't know about you, but there was no helicopters when they were building the pyramids.
No, I don't think so. No.
And didn't you bring up a topic about that with the bricks?
You're talking about Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. There you go.
So in Stonehenge, goodness gracious, I've been wondering about Stonehenge my whole life. I want to get out there and see it someday. But in Stonehenge, those stones are 25 tons apiece, 18 feet tall. The only place to get those stones would be 40 miles away. You're talking about 3100 BC now. 3100 BC.
This was to get it to
where Stonehenge was. There was no stones. Like, they're not just laying on the ground. They weren't just there and they just stood them up. We're done. No, the only place that the earth had those types of stones that you could get them or chisel them or make them the shape they are or even dig them up was over like 40 miles away.
I don't know about you, but 40 miles is pretty far in a car.
So, 25 tons, just to break this down for you, this is 3100 BC. Now, they say the Druids did it. There's all kinds of theories. Magicians, who knows? Aliens could have done it. We don't know. But just to put it into perspective even more, a stone that's 25 tons is 50,000 pounds. A Greyhound bus weighs about 40,000 pounds.
Yep.
So you're talking a civilization
on it that's not as advanced.
These tribesmen picked up this stone that weighed as much as a Greyhound bus and just stood it up. I mean, that's insane. That's not even feasible.
Well, the thing is also, I mean, there's no wheels. They barely had the technology to get rolling. They said they used to put like wood under it, like they chopped down a tree.
Right, they'd make all kinds of pulleys and ramps and different systems to drag them, but it hasn't been figured out. The best scientists in the world can't figure out Stonehenge. And, so that's just one thing, but there's all kinds of markings on the grounds and different plots all over the place.
I don't know if you've seen how big the pyramids are, but I don't know. But I don't know how they would get a Greyhound bus weight all the way up there.
Right.
I don't even think we have the technology now to do that. Maybe a crane.
Oh, they talked about it was a ton of cranes to use to get those up there. But regardless of that, so just this year alone, there's already been about 800 UFO sightings.
Guarantee you one of them.
About 800.
But the government will just say they're just planes.
Right. So, which is funny you say that. There's an actual program I was actually checking out. There's actually a program called the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program.
What is that?
It's AATIP.
Okay.
It's a special program just to study UFOs. It's a classified program. It actually was just declassified. It was founded in 2007 to 2017. And like I said, it was a program just to study unidentified objects.
Oh, so they just declassified it, so now it's out to the public.
Which I haven't, of course they're not going to release that information, They're not going to release it even though it's declassified. But still, it was a $22 million program. It's a real program. The government made it. Go look it up. It's called AATIP, Advanced Aviation Threat Identification, and the government did spend $22 million on it. So why would the government spend $22 million on a program if they didn't believe in aliens?
That's 100% true.
And why can't we look at Area 51?
I know. What is the big deal, right? Roswell was how long ago? Why can't we go look at Area 51? It just doesn't make any sense. Maybe we'll get to look at it soon with Trump's Space Force. Maybe he'll unlock it and declassify it for us.
And declassify us? He's going to let us go train out there and see what it's like?
Just see what's in Area 51. That's where they're supposedly storing all of the little green guys and, all the flying saucers. Yeah. That's where it's supposedly is at Area 51. So we'll see. But there's been countless retired employees from Area 51. Countless scientists and employees.
I was going to say, I saw a documentary about that, and this classified stuff. He was just blabbering all out like no big deal. Like, I worked on this project. I worked on this project.
He said his time's up. He's older now, and he just doesn't care. So he wanted to release the information. But they'll say right on camera they've seen aliens. They've seen them. And then, UFOs. And then a lot of them have even told their spouses or told a friend, and they were tapped. They feel like they were tapped because after they told a friend or their spouse, all of a sudden, now they have a black car, a black Lincoln rolling up with men in all black who are telling them, don't tell anyone else or you're done. So I definitely believe something's going on in Area 51 with the aliens and UFOs. They won't let us in. You can't even drive on the property because they'll chase you down. They'll get you out of there. You can't even record.
Have you ever actually heard? So everyone loves that movie, The Men in Black, and everything is hilarious. But have you ever actually heard and seen the documentaries of the Men in Black actually being real? Mm-hmm. Like even more proof. Like
here comes
the Men in Black.
There you go.
But that's even more proof that like something is very wrong.
And the Men in Black it was a real thing.
Oh.
So
I mean, they were just spotted recently, like a couple years ago, trying to contact someone.
Right, absolutely.
And they were the people who worked there said they were the scariest looking men. And then there was a sighting I think it was in Arizona.
There's a whole. Have you heard of Project Blue Book?
I think I have, yes.
Casey, have you heard of Project Blue Book?
No.
Okay, so that's it's a whole systematic study from the government. It was a whole project, and the United States Air Force retired into the National Archives Project Blue Book relating to investigations of UFOs. But so there's all these countless things from our government over and over and over about UFOs and aliens, but yet they'll say they don't exist.
Well, of course. I mean, do you want to scare the public? Have you ever seen those movies?
There'd be riots.
They would change how religions wrote. And religion's a great way to control people. To control.
I mean,
That's
yes,
what this
definitely.
I believe it's just control.
You think it's just control? That's why they're not releasing to us that aliens do exist?
Yeah, it would change everything. I don't even think they know how we would handle it.
Well, first of all, if they could get here...
They may be here now, and that's the scary part. If they have the technology to be
That's
here
what I'm
before we
saying.
did,
Well, we've definitely established they do exist, right? We all agree that they do exist.
so why haven't they showed themselves?
Which people are going to think, woo, they're weirdos now. They think aliens exist. They have to exist. They have to exist.
Right.
With how many government cover-ups there's been for UFOs that have crashed and they've covered it up? Why would we need Area 51, which is a well-known area about aliens and UFOs? That's where they're stored. That's where the special research is done.
Yeah. And if they have nothing to hide,
then why does that even exist?
Yeah.
Well, my next question is to you, like, there's so many planets and galaxies and everything like that, and you're telling me that we're the only ones living
and you know how big
in
it
all
is?
this space?
And this was said by someone else.
But yeah, if they could make it here, which they have, they might be so advanced that they've been here for hundreds of years and we don't. Maybe we've seen some glimpses of them. And maybe there could be different types of aliens. There could be different types and different, just like and even down to, oh my gosh, how we have countries. Maybe there's a world of aliens, right? Which they think they're normal and we're aliens. And maybe it's even down to their different countries have different ships and different styles and different things. Maybe some we can't even see.
Right.
Because they're just so many dimensions to them that we can't even analyze with our brains and see them. They're invisible.
No, I believe we are alien that have been mixed with monkeys, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Do you believe we're aliens mixed with monkeys?
Yeah, I think we're actually, our genetic code is monkeys that have been with aliens.
And I'll let you guys do the figuring out on how that worked. But
no, it's weird. If you guys stare at a monkey long enough, you're gonna start connecting the dots.
No, I can't agree with that. I can't. I'm totally you lost.
They have eyes and nose and ears.
There's no way I'm part monkey, part alien.
We are 98% the same DNA as a monkey.
I'm not even green. I don't even like bananas. It's not happening. I don't like it. I'm not. Maybe this guy's more monkey than alien. So there's all kinds of theories, though. There's all kinds of theories. I'll even take it deeper for you. And this is a whole. Maybe we'll do an alien part 2 where we go really in depth.
Yeah.
But I even thought maybe it's so in depth that we can't comprehend it, that the aliens created us and they created a god and they created heaven and they created hell to give us something to believe in. And they're just here farming our resources, and we're like puppets to them.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic.
And it would be a lot more
just like shot left.
That is completely in depth.
But it's true. I believe it could be, and not just that. But if you look at primates, again, the only thing that's different between us is our brain, which means if we are connected,
we're not green,
to aliens from that direction, doesn't mean they're green.
All right, so I'm gonna read you guys a story. We're gonna cut Casey off here with the monkey alien theory.
That's terrible.
So check this out. This is O'Hare International Airport, 2006. Just a little short story for you guys. Flight 446 was getting ready to fly to North Carolina from Chicago, Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, when a United Airlines employee on the tarmac noticed a dark gray metallic craft hovering over gate C-17. That day, November 7th, 2006, a total of 12 United employees and a few witnesses outside of the airport spotted the saucer-shaped craft around 4:15 p.m. The witnesses say it hovered for about 5 minutes before shooting upward. So this craft was on the tarmac. The plane could not take off.
No, it wasn't on the tarmac.
For 5 minutes.
It was hovering above it.
Oh, hovering above it, right. So it wasn't on the tarmac physically.
But they
like
it
wasn't wheels on the ground.
They didn't know what was going on.
But it was hovering right above the tarmac, which is even scarier, honestly. So the witnesses say it hovered for about 5 minutes before shooting upward, where it broke a hole in the clouds, enough that the pilots and mechanics could see the blue sky. The news report came the most read story on the Chicago Tribune's website to that date and made international news. However, because of the UFO was never seen on radar, the FAA called it a weather phenomenon and declined to investigate.
So let me just there. I'm sure they have technology. Again, they got here, right?
Oh, so they could be off our radar. Are you kidding me?
That's probably why we don't see them on our radars, because they're probably like, ha, 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 as they fly by right next to a plane, because we can't see that they're there.
If they want us to see them, that's why we're seeing them.
Yep. So, and that's what I want to say is that, because they're so advanced, we were talking about Area 51, that could be the cover-up where it's like, oh, well, it wasn't on our radar, so we're not going to investigate it.
So many incidents of that reported. So many. Where it's on the radar, but it's not on the radar. There was Nimitz, which was a USS. I think I'm saying that wrong, actually, but Nimitz. Have you heard of that? The USS Nimitz, where it wasn't on the radar, and then it was on the radar. They were tracking this unidentified object for over 2 weeks out at sea, and the pilot saw it. There's been so many pilots that have been seeing these UFOs lately. You've heard about the stories?
A little bit.
I know you know about Jerusalem, Dome of the Rock. That's one of the most famous ones.
Yeah. Definitely. So that's the thing I'm trying to say. That's the thing I'm trying to say is that they had the perfect, too many people saw it. But they're like, oh, we're not going to investigate it.
From multiple different camera angles,
exactly.
Too. It's not just one person saw it.
Yeah, it's not like the psycho that was in baggage claim, I knew they were real! It wasn't that. It was multiple people that are completely sane, saw these things happening, but they're like, we're not investigating it because we didn't pick it up on our radar.
Do you think there's been abductions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not cows, people.
No, like people. They're just like.
And so what are they doing?
They mess with us?
Most of the abduction stories, though, people got abducted multiple times. It wasn't just one occurrence.
Yeah,
they
they're
keep
discarded immediately because the Men in Black, they're going to keep that, down.
Hush, hush.
Yeah.
So what are the aliens abducting us for? Why?
Maybe to study us.
Find out why we're not as smart as them and why we're not as advanced.
But there's been a million stories. They've been probed, they've been tested, they've been needled, they've been
you don't think that
taken to be reproduced. I mean,
you don't think that when we catch an alien, we're not like, ooh, let's poke him. I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
We do the same thing if we could get control, but good luck getting control of an alien.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to probe and see and mess with their, spaceship and go, what's this button do? And all of a sudden the whole thing explodes. I mean, it's things like that. I mean, we're going to do the exact same thing that they're going to do.
They could be taking samples of DNA and cloning us and making us slaves into a different Earth. Maybe I'm just saying that could be what they're doing.
Right.
Exactly. No,
we make perfect
could
slaves.
be a giant Earth of nothing but monkey aliens with lasagna. McDonald's that only serve lasagna, right?
You always had that. You always had that.
Could you imagine a monkey alien eating lasagna from McDonald's?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
or like last episode of McChicken, right?
Right. That was fish fillet.
Fish fillet.
See, that's where all the stuff that they don't sell. That's where they go. Mm-hmm. That must be where it goes.
So. You can actually buy alien abduction insurance.
Yeah, it's $10,000 a year, right? Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I thought it was. Is it $10,000? Yeah, it's something like that. It's something like.
How do you prove that?
It's alien abduction insurance.
How do you prove that it's like, hey, I got abducted. I need to pull my insurance?
No. You would buy it like say I thought you were going to be abducted tomorrow, right? I don't know why I'm saying that. No red flags, but say you weren't here but tomorrow.
Well, if I know I'm not here tomorrow,
which we could all be abducted and then the show would be over.
Yeah, but the odds of being abducted by an alien are high. Now, a guy in a white van.
But anyway, so you would buy it for a family member or a friend. Like I would buy insurance for you.
So again, how would you claim that? It's like, hey, my family member.
I don't know, but they have to have proof, or they don't get the money.
Well, how do you? Again,
I don't know. That's why.
Then we need to call these people right now.
I don't know.
And be like, listen,
how many policies have been cashed in? We want to know. Show us the video.
How many people were abducted? And I'm not doing air quotes. Abducted,
right? I don't know. Right? How many? Where's the proof? Where's the video?
Yeah, where? How do you claim these out? How do you know that they're not falsifying information?
I don't. I think abductions. I mean, why would they want us, man? Why would they want us? Why would they want us? Why would they even want to come here? Why would they want to come here?
There could be more abductions than we know
It's
about.
not for our cars because Ford's getting rid of half of them. So why do they want to be here?
Maybe we're like how we see animals in the zoo and stuff like that. We're the same thing. It's like watching us. Like, oh,
they're just people watching. They're just checking us out.
They're checking us out. Like, oh, look, they figured out how to do the electric car. So cute. That was 1,000 years ago.
Oh, look, they're going to Starbucks again. It's Friday again. I know, maybe.
We'll never have an explanation until...
Look at all the missing people at Walmart, or the Walmart posters. When you go in there, all the missing children and people.
Oh, you're talking about like at the very front door?
Maybe some of them were abductions.
Oh, the little balloons? You're talking about the balloons?
No. It's like on
missing people balloons or something?
No. It's on a
when you walk in, you
poster.
see all the missing people.
Yeah, and it's really sad. It's
Not
mostly
all of them,
kids. So
That's depressing.
It's very depressing.
That's so depressing. They're all alien abductions.
Well, no, I mean, it's even more depressing when you see how long they've been missing.
Rolling back prices and abducting kids. Is that what it is?
Oh, God.
I mean, what are they doing? So there's all kinds of topics that come, of course, with aliens. But I honestly believe
black SUV out front, then we know.
I honestly believe
no one's going to hear this video ever.
Hopefully I get it edited and put out before we all get abducted or taken in by the men in black. But I definitely think they exist. There's too many things and too many occurrences and sightings. I'm not saying Bigfoot exists. I'm saying aliens, exist, and we'll see what happens. But
I'm still hoping that the Loch Ness Monster exists.
Well, that'd be cool.
Because he wants to go swimming with it later.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hug it. Like my new friend.
I wonder if our lifetime we're going to get guaranteed proof, though.
We might. We're still young. Kind of.
No guaranteed proof. The White House hasn't came out and said...
I don't think so.
Here's a UFO.
I think, again, is that you have to keep the public...
controlled and down.
No, away from certain things. Like, hey, Ford's getting rid of their cars, not a big deal. Mm-hmm. Hey, we did see some aliens. Everybody was right. They're coming to kill us. Or they're trying to. This is what we're just letting you guys all know. I mean, what would you rather have? So, there's... Like, I get it. Because there's certain things you just can't tell people. Because this place they'll start burning this place down.
Yeah, humans in general, no offense.
I mean, people, you hear someone, there's a small storm coming, everyone's breaking into the 7-Eleven down the street.
Right, no, of course. They can't handle a hurricane. How are they going to handle aliens?
Well,
aliens coming.
That would just guarantee that religion is not real anymore.
I just want the government to come out and confirm that they actually do exist. They've been here. They've existed for hundreds of years.
Again,
you can handle it, but some people can't.
Yeah, see, again, like you could, but half of America would not be able to. Half of China or any country that we say, hey, listen, we've been lying this whole time. They actually are real. Your neighbor's probably an alien. Like, those are those moments where this whole country would freak out.
Your girlfriend's an alien.
Right.
I could only hope.
So we know aliens exist, but it's to what extent do they exist, Is someone at the door? Ryan, go check that right now. What is that? What is going on? We're in the middle of doing this live broadcast. Someone's beating on the door at 9 o'clock at night.
Bro, I know we were joking about this, and this was supposed to be funny, but there are really men in suits.
No, there's not.
At our front door.
No, there's not. Oh, And we were just kidding. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode of The Alex Wilson Show. Stay tuned every Friday night. Every Friday night, we're going to release another episode. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, hit those comments below. Thank you so much, Casey and Ryan, for being here tonight.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next time.